Now we're going to talk about a very touchy subject that a lot of singers don't want to hear about, and that is, don't listen to yourself. You know, the Germans have several words. Hören is to hear. A car drives by, I hear the car, but I don't listen to it. I don't pay any attention to it. I just hear a sound in the background, right? Then there's anhören, which is listen at. So if I'm expecting some friends and they're late and then a car drives up, I listen at it. I listen to it. We say in English, I listen to it, and they say they listen at it because they direct their listening specifically to a certain sound. And the other way they say it is zuhören. I sit back and I hear something coming to me. So that's what your audience does. Your audience is a Zuhörer, and he lets it come to him, right? And then here, I hear a sound, right? I slap my leg or something, but I'm not going to listen to it. What do? You, j'accuse. I'm accusing you, because I did it too. What do you listen to when you sing? You know, if you have a musical ear and I play a chord or a note, you sing that note. Or you sing in that key, or you'll find a note and you'll sing. And if I play the chord at the opening of an aria, you know the aria, you come in on the right note. So you don't really have to listen at the pitch. Now, if you see singers going around like this, what are they doing? This is marvelous tenor. I love his voice. You stand on the stage like this. Right? Such amateurs, such provincial singing. It's just terrible. Now, by the time you hear it, it's too late. It's already happened. When I went, the sound happened, and this, you know, it's like shooting the bow and arrow. Once I release it, it's gone. There's no point in me running along and trying to study the arrow. I throw a ball. Shall I run along next to the ball and say, oh, was it a good ball? Was it a good one? No. Everything is about what we do when we draw back to throw, or when we draw the bow back. Talk to any archer or any archery teacher. It's all about pulling back and making sure that you're in the right place and then releasing. And once you release that arrow, you can't do a thing. It's gone. No matter what I want it back, you can't get it back. Therefore, every time you sing a sound, it's gone. The sound has already happened. It happened a split second before. When I'm singing music and I'm puddling along and I'm listening to myself, I can get behind myself. And the first thing you know, I'm making a bunch of sounds that I'm listening to, and you've lost your audience, right? You want to be thinking ahead all the time. There's something called wheels, the way you descend with wide intervals. You go, no, you don't go, You don't sound like you're stepping off the porch. You go, And if you want to make that wheel, you're always way ahead of the tone, planning to make that wheel. And then if you add the cutoff method that some singers use, they go, So they're playing the cutoff too. They're not listening to the note, right? I remember Eleanor Stieber singing a big Telemann cantata at Juilliard, and she got up and her voice wasn't working. And she was going, and it was just, you know, everybody was, So I went back to see her afterwards, and she said, oh, Michael, I'm so happy I sang so beautifully tonight. They're so critical here at Juilliard. She didn't even know she was in bad voice and didn't even know half the notes weren't coming out. You know why? She didn't listen to herself, and she was too busy singing. And what we're supposed to be doing is singing and not listening. And we're supposed to have friends and conductors and agents and everybody to say, hey, you better listen to the tape of that one. That one needs some work, right? But the act of actually anhören, listening at it, should not exist while you're performing. You listen to the piano, you listen to the orchestra, right? You listen to your colleagues, but you don't listen to yourself. You put the musical response you have in your brain, it goes in your ear, and goes to your brain, goes to your vocal cords, it goes to your breathing system, and this whole thing is involved, and then you're going to try to separate it out and listen to it? It's too late. By the time that sound is made, it is too late. It's already happened, and you can't do a thing about it. And you don't try to predict or plan how you're going to sing the next notes depending on a note that you didn't like. A lot of singers go, oh, that was no good. I'm going to do it different now. What, they're trying to compare it to a lousy note? No. So don't listen to yourself. Put cotton in your ears if you have to. Sing like this if you have to. But get used to not listening. You get a big theater with a big orchestra, huge space, you can't hear yourself anyway. You get with big colleagues, a big baritone on this side, a big mezzo-soprano on that side, or soprano, you won't even know you're singing. I sang 2 performances where you couldn't tell you were singing. The woman's voice was so huge. The chorus in Zurich went on strike for 3 days after a performance of Flying Dutchman. Because their voice is so huge, they said their ears are ringing so bad that they couldn't rehearse. Now, how are you going to listen to yourself? So you don't practice anything off stage that you don't want to use on stage. And listening is one of the worst.